information to access it when we need it. And then usually there's a lot of fear built in at the same time because we as children go through this educational process, and then we have to take tests. And if we don't do well in the tests, we get in trouble. And so it becomes a fear-based process, which we're going to try and get away from in this course. We're going to try and make it fun for everybody, because learning should be fun. It's part of the whole process. To enjoy yourself, to look forward to what you're going to do, to look forward to improving the educational process. Teaching is perhaps the only profession today that if you took a professor from 200 years ago and you dropped him into a modern school, he'd still know what to do. The legal professions changed completely, the medical professions changed completely. All of them have, except go to graduation sometime at any university and you'll see that the professors still dress in the same way, they still have the same concepts, the same music for graduation. The whole process of education still kind of works in the same way it did hundreds of years ago. And in fact, the educational system is kind of happy about that, and they're proud of the fact that they continue to do things the way they used to. However, not everybody does this. There was a Bulgarian educator by the name of Grigor Luzanov who felt there was a better way. He happened to be a yoga master. And yoga and meditation from India and from many other ancient cultures has very much to do with brain frequencies. The whole aspect of meditation, what it's all about, is being able to get your brain waves down into that lowest level, into those theta and delta brain waves, where your brain waves are so low that they're in touch with that quantum existence, where your mind, body, soul, if you want to call it that, is connected with all knowledge. It's there. We can't think it. This act of meditating is trying to get away from the logical thinking, the beta thinking, and move gradually down into alpha, then into theta, and into delta. And at that level, to learn how to interact with the universe, to put intentions into the universe. And it's very hard to do that because most intentions come out of beta. But that's what yoga is all about, and Luzanov, as a yoga master, started thinking about how to apply that to education and how to help the students that were learning to get their brain waves down into that lower state. And what he discovered is that one of the easy ways to do it without having to sit and meditate, one of the easiest ways is to listen to 10-cycle music. The great music masters that created Baroque music knew what they were doing. They created that kind of beat for a reason, to alter the brain waves, to make people more relaxed, to make them more calm, to put them into a state where they felt better. It just happens that that state is also the state where you actually can learn, retain, and recall information in a more efficient way. So Luzanov started applying these principles, and it spread throughout the Soviet Union. It allowed a very backward totalitarian dictatorship with very little money compared with the United States to compete effectively in science, because the children were learning so much more in their educational system. They're actually able to use that educational system to put the Sputnik into space before the Americans did and start the space race. So this 60-cycle music, what you will learn is how to use 60-cycle music to improve this educational process. Then, and Mary is a student, was trained by Grigor Luzanov. He's only come to the United States one time, and he taught very few students in the United States. Mary happened to be one of them. So she already understood that aspect of education. Then when she moved to Mexico and had to learn, because she was doing a business down there, she had to learn Spanish, she started to understand a few other things. And Steve will explain more to you about the 17 rules that will give you 4,500 words. Fluency is considered 1,500 words in a language. So you will become fluent very, very quickly by learning 17 lessons. You'll know 4,005 words in a very short period of time. And with the addition, with the assistance of this 10 cycle music, it will help you then be able to recall those lessons and to then start applying the principles that you gain. So, what we want to do is end this with a little story, because some other things may happen to you as you go forward. As you start dropping down into this state of greater knowledge, as you start tapping into information that you can't put into words, some peculiar things might start to happen. You may find that while you're learning the course, you have some emotions come out. You may feel giddy and happy. You may feel sad. You may feel angry. Don't worry about that. That is a normal part of the process, because what happens is you enter in, as you start listening to this music presented in a special way, your body will tap into this infinite knowledge, and it will start correcting imbalances that might be in your system. And when these imbalances come out, they can't come out individually. They have to be attached to an emotion. So they'll generally come out with the same emotion they went in with. So if you feel a little bit uneasy or unusually happy for some reason, don't get too caught up in it. That's a part of the process to feel some emotions as you go through the learning process. You may feel some aches and pains. You'll suddenly be going through it and you feel a stab in the shoulder or something else. It's the same thing. It's the body unwinding. It's tapped into this knowledge, this field of wisdom, and it starts to correct some physical imbalances. So don't worry if you feel a little bit of that also. And you may find that other areas of your thinking improve dramatically. And to give you an example, I want to just read a note that one of the delegates at this course sent to me. Now, she came to learn Spanish, but as you'll see, what she learned, the process of learning, had nothing to do